Hello, this is Mindset Monday and might be one of my favorite Mindset Mondays. What a way to start the week out, you guys. You're going to hear a family story and the power of what that looks like. And before I introduce them, I'm going to pull up real quick. I'm going to pull up a screen share that I want you guys to see because I want you to know a little. Well, of course, it is Mindset Monday, right? And the gift we can give to our families is really what this is about. And you're going to hear a story that's going to really bless you to realize how much we can reach out. And I'm going to give you a little heads up. So, the couple at the top, Rick and Cheryl Kinzel, and I'm pretty sure all of you know Rick. Pretty stinking sure. And it is because he's everywhere within our 55 plus posting, leaving comments or whatever. And in our top contributors, you guys, those are the ones that are the most active. He's in third place out of 2,000 people in the 55 plus. Ooh. Rick is in third place for the most active. And I really, Rick, and I've told all of you that are the top contributors, and there's a level of about 50 of them that really aren't really active. But I've told you guys are the leadership team. You are the ones that are the glue because you're leaving the post, you're commenting on the post. Now, Cheryl, I have seen a couple of really delicious posts you do, but I would not follow Cheryl unless you want to get hungry right away. Because like that salad, I need that salad recipe, Cheryl. That just looked incredible. But in the center,
that is actually off the DDP app.
Oh, the exact one? Oh, I didn't know that.
I added oranges to it, but that is the Asian chicken chop salad.
Oh, great. Then I can get the recipe today. Wonderful. Okay. And then in the center, you see their family photo. And your son is to your right, Rick, correct?
Yep.
Yep. And what is his name? Your son's name? Or can you hear me?
Logan.
Okay. And then the one getting married, that happens to be Leah, correct? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. And now a little time has passed, but Leah and her husband Marcus have the cutest little girl. And now, of course, Leah is not a part of our 55 plus family, but she's a part of a family that brought her on in. So you guys, this is powerful that you guys are willing to take your time, because this is the example that Rick started first and then it kind of affected the family, right? So Rick, tell us a little bit about how that happened exactly, that you approached Leah to kind of come on board, because you kind of started exploding on this win this year in 2024, correct? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you can you hear me, Rick?
It's cutting out.
Oh, okay. That's okay. We're fortunate because Leah can always, when you don't speak, Leah can catch it. So you started.
That's normal.
Our kids are the best part of us, aren't they? You always want your ceiling to be their floor, and that they go on up from what you do in your life. So,
yes.
Yeah. So you started in 2024, Rick. But who wants to share how you ended up approaching Leah to come on board and do this too at the same time that you are?
I've been doing it since like 2020, I believe. Okay. And I've been talking to her about it since then. But she come over for Easter, and she was really struggling. She was having to have help getting up, and it really hurt me to see her like that, because I got hurt back in 1991 and have dealt with pain since then, and I could just see the darkness starting to consumer, and I did not want that. So I kept talking to her about it. And then, like the last night of the challenge before you could start, I gave one last Hail Mary and said, "Hey, you need to try this." Because she was going to try something else. And oh man, to my surprise, she did. And you ought to hear her. She'll tell you what her physical therapist and stuff said, the changes in her. Just amazing.
Yeah. So you both entered the Positively Unstoppable Challenge at the same time, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. That really speaks to why they even do that every year is they're hoping it gives somebody that little extra push to get really rolling with their current, 2024 goals. So, and before you guys started, I have to share this funny, just before we started recording, Leah shared, she goes, I asked mom and dad, but is this for just old people? And I thought that is like such music to my ears because when I started on January 20th of 2022, our son had brought this to me and I'm like, Willem, I think this is just for young people, like that are very cool with colored hair and tattoos and body piercing, and I'm not going to fit in. So, Leah, you have no idea what a cool thing it was for me to hear that we've in the 55 plus, by the way, we have grown to over 2,000 of us already since last October. But to think that we are perceived possibly, Rick and Cheryl and I are perceived possibly as the normal, that's really amazing, don't you think?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And as far as colored hair and stuff, that Michael character.
Oh, big. Oh,
See, you we get to know each other so much, and there are so many people in this group that I just love. And
yeah,
you text each other and private message each other, and it's amazing. It's
it is.
not just this on this group. We it continues throughout the day and night. So
We are definitely family to one another in the 55 plus thing.
oh yeah.
Steve Yu in Dallas had thought about this for quite a while. And when he called me, he said, we've been thinking about this for a while, but we would like to launch a 55 group out of the bigger group. So we're included in their stuff too, but we have our own space. I said, sure, I'd love to be a part of it, not dreaming that it would explode the way it does. Because, like Leah thought this might be for older people, I thought, are there even other 55 pluses? And Leah, I'm actually 69. But I actually, when Steve, you asked me, I'm like, I wonder if we're going to get like 12 people. And what's really funny is you said, I don't really know how many you'll get, Pam. But if you'd be a part of it, that's great. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if there's any of us out there. So, yeah. So, Leah, tell us your perspective. So, the 55 plus get to hear what it's like to have a daughter who just shared the kind of thing that your dad shared about how it hurt him to see you hurting. Share with us your end of that story.
Yeah, so oh, I'm trying to think of where to even begin. Um so I've been in pain like the majority of my life, just not to that extent. Because I had gotten hit by a car when I was in second grade. And yeah, it was a huge thing in my life, and it was hard for the whole family to go through, really. And it messed up my back, and so I've had back problems since I was 8 years old. Yep. And then I just recently had a C-section because I had, my daughter, and it healed badly. There's a lot of scar tissue and a lot of issues. And so I was hardly able to, dad said that I couldn't hardly get up by myself, but I couldn't hardly even sit on the couch. I would have to have help to go and sit down on the couch.
And
Uh,
Leah, how old are you right now?
I'm only 25.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I feel so young compared to everybody.
That's so great.
I'm only 55.
So
Uh,
go ahead. So really, even that pregnancy made another issue. It added another layer for you.
yep, and
As a young mommy, that would be really hard to have it that many challenges going on, right?
yep, yep. And so I was over for Easter, like my dad had said, and he he's been telling me for years and years about this happened. I'm like, oh, that's nice, Dad. Okay, and just kind of ignoring him. And then finally, it just hit the point where I was, something had to change. And I kept thinking, well, if I'm hardly able to pick my daughter up, so I don't want to be that type of mom, so I want to be able to go and run outside with her and do all those things. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna check it out. Use They had a 7-day trial thing, and I was like, let's see. And then after the first week, my physical therapist that I had been going to I was on my second month, going 2 times a week because that's all that I could get out of work for, with little to no progress. And I went in and they're like, what has changed? What is going on? And so, because I wanted to try it out before asking them about it to see if I would be able to even do it.
Right.
And so then they're like, what's going on? Like, and so then I told them about DDPY, and she was like, wait a second. So she had to go and look it up on her computer, stop the session and look it up on her computer. And she's like, it's a yoga? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. And I started out with the bed flexes. Right now I am still doing some of the bed flexes, but branching out into like the chair ones and then the standing with the chair and everything. So, but there when I began, I couldn't even do cannonball. And I was like, what am I even doing? Why is this so hard? I don't understand. And now I could do it without even thinking about it. And I'm able to move around so much better. I've been able to go out and sit on a blanket outside with my daughter and get up by myself, which is huge. So
Now
it's been great.
yeah.
Yeah. And me and my dad, we text all the time about it. We're It's weird if I don't call my parents at least 5 times a day. I know it's kind
So,
of weird.
Best dad, Dundee.
oh, so
Yeah, we on the 100-day challenge, we're the Dundies group. So,
oh my,
And that's what this,
oh gosh, Leah, that is like so powerful. And you're seeing results
mm,
even in your nutrition pillar too. You shifted that as well, correct?
what was that?
Your nutrition pillar you have
Yeah.
shifted as well.
Yep,
Mhm.
I completely changed that. My husband's been having issues with his blood pressure and stuff, and so we've been needing to change anyway. And it's so hard for a baker because that's what I do. I'm a baker. So I'm at work and I'm trying so hard to stay away from the cupcakes and the brownies and everything. So they stick me in the gluten-free room.
Hey.
Yep.
Oh wow, you guys. So I don't know if you know this, Leah, but so our story was the opposite. It was our son that came
Yep.
Yeah.
and it crushed him. Just like I saw your dad crying over yours, it crushed our son to see someone that he considered a hero his whole life growing up. And at the point that he saw, how far I had gone, I couldn't walk anymore. I would take a golf cart across the street to bring food to neighbors. And they'd say, "Oh, you brought the golf cart." I never said anything about the fact that, yeah, the level of pain it would have caused me to walk across that street would have been more than I could have bared, right? And I think it's powerful that you and your mom and dad are all a part of this journey together, because it isn't, we never arrive, right? But we are taking a journey to work on all three pillars: our mindset, our nutrition, and our fitness. And it's a journey. It takes,
Yeah.
it takes time, and it's more of a lifestyle change. But what a beautiful example you guys are when a family can kind of move this direction together. Because I mean, I'd even like to come to your Thanksgiving and your Christmas dinners. I'm willing to bet you're going to have choices in there that actually will work. I know we all on those holidays have like a traditional whatever that we're going to still put on the table,
Mhm.
right? But I bet you guys at least add choices in there that make that day not,
Easier.
yeah, not the same that it was before 2024.
Yeah.
So,
All family doings.
yeah. So any
I
thoughts
had my own.
have, Rick, or even Cheryl? She's sitting there too. She's kind of off camera, sneaking off camera. Any thoughts that you guys have about seeing the journey your daughter's on?
I know whenever I see her, just I see her, what is it, sis? Maybe 2 times a month, if that. When I see her, I can see a huge difference in her just in a couple of weeks' time. And she does Snapchat video me all the time, but most of that time is spent with little Miss Rosie there. But I can still see the huge difference in her, even in her face.
Wow. Wow. And your parents, I can tell how much they enjoy being the grandparents too. So
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
oh, it's like over the top. Just like me, it's like over the top. It's a sweet part of life. And thank you, Leah, for giving them that gift too, because
Yeah.
your family tree is,
Oh yeah.
imagine the difference for Rosie, her seeing as she gets older, the lifestyle change that you guys will be teaching her, right, will make a difference in her life and her destiny.
Yeah, she's already wanting to eat what I'm eating and drink what I'm drinking and try to do everything I'm doing. So it just makes me feel a hell of a lot better
Yeah.
uh, that I'm making the right choices and showing her the way. Um, so it's pretty fun.
Wow. And even on,
DDPY, pass it on.
yeah, I'm telling you what, the story, the family unit story that you guys are giving out, um, the reason I consider it such a mindset powerful Monday with you guys on here is because what a difference we could make if we would just reach out to one family member, or if a child like you, Leah, comes to a parent or a relative and says, "Hey, I think I have something." And I would like to put a tip here. I know that, Leah, you said your dad for a long time kept reminding you of this, right?
Yes.
What the reason it worked for me when our son came, you guys, is because Willem had no judgment in his eyes. And I say this because it's not just our words. When we're close to people, our closest people, right? We can see it in their eyes when they're mad at us or disappointed. They don't even have to use words, right? So when Willem came to me with this, I knew he wasn't judging my morbid obesity because I was over 250 pounds. I never weighed when I was, so I could end up being 270 or something at some point. I have no idea, because who wants to get on the scale when you're that big, right? But at the point I started on January 20th, 2022, I was 250.3 or 0.7. I don't know. I'm not good with numbers. One of those point numbers. And BMI was just incredible, right? But he didn't come to me like I was a fat person or an invalid, which I was an invalid because I couldn't walk. I had no mobility. But he came to me as, Mom, I think I have something that's going to help you. And I saw it in his eyes. It was just, if I can help you, Mom, that's all I want to do. And just like you guys keep communicating, he has always, every single day, sent me a text on what day I'm on of my journey. And now we're, 2 years in now, and he's still my strongest. I'm accountable to him. He's my strongest cheerleader. My husband is too, but my son took it on his plate to say, I'm going to be there for Mom. I'm going to help her, and we'll do it together. And I think that's the power that you guys have, because you do have each other to reach out to, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, before we close this out, I do want to have you guys back, by the way, later in the year and see how things have gone for all of you. But
Hopefully
oh, I know it is, because you have each other to make sure, and
hold each other accountable.
I started coaching. My husband came to me in February and asked if I would start coaching him because he hadn't done DDPY in these 2 years. And I said, well, because we're going to be married 49 years this fall. So I said, tell me what you're thinking, because I just didn't want to step into it and change our roles so much that I would offend him, right? And that it would just be a constant battle in a house kind of thing. And so he started on February 24th, but it's powerful to watch that even hands-on. And you guys know you love your family member and you're there for them. That's the whole point. You cannot push another human being. It's like pushing a rope. It ain't happening. But when their head gets in the right space, and I believe you're influencing her to bring her into that positively unstoppable challenge too, Rick. I believe that was one of the keys, because that was key.
Thank you.
That was key for me too. And the fact that you knew to do that with her, it just, Leah, just puts you in another circle. You're in another private Facebook group that people are really going after it. So I did that on day one too, on January 20th of 2022. I did that on day one because I thought I need to be around the people that think like a 20%er, right? They're going after stuff. But I will tell you, Leah, because this might be the only time I get to talk to you till you finish your challenge this year. But I will give you one really strong piece of advice. That is, don't look left to right, Leah. Stay who you are. I still am 100% in my own lane. I don't try to be somebody else, right? And no matter what profound thing you see up there in that group, just understand, okay, that's great that they can do that, or that's great that they're doing that, but that's not my story. So stay very comfortable with, you're a young mommy, you've only got so much time, right? So stay in what fits for you, and you've got the best cheerleader. I'm telling you what, your dad makes me cry every time he does a post that he refers to you, because I haven't seen, my dad was that proud of me, but I haven't seen too many daddies get as crushed as your daddy does when he talks about you. So, Rick, you could stop giving us Leah updates because it makes us all cry.
What are you doing to me? Hey, I know you said that you're your son's hero, but you're all of our hero. You really are. I mean, God bless you. You're an angel, and it's what it's all about. I mean, you can't imagine how many people you touch.
Well,
So, and don't cry.
right back to you, Rick, because honestly, your posts are just, you get right to the heart. I love a man that knows it's okay to cry, because I cry happy tears all the
I
time.
don't have any choice.
You should see him when he's watching some really sad movies like The Christmas Shoes. He said he's sweating through his eyes.
Yeah, well, I adore you, Rick, everything about it. So you're making a giant impact in our 55 plus family. I'm telling you what, you top contributors, I only pop in with these videos and have very little time to keep going in during the day. You guys are the heartbeat of what's happening, and we're growing at a speed that none of us thought would happen in the 55 plus. So, Leah, do you have any
It's
last
amazing.
thoughts before we hang up, sweet one? Do you have any last thoughts?
Um,
Where's my Rosie?
she is out with the other grandma.
Oh, man.
You could always give us a sneak peek unless it's not comfortable.
Yeah, let me get up here for a sec.
Oh,
Let me get
seriously, Cheryl, it is like the babies are like this biggest treat to this season of life. I getting to have a grandbaby in our life.
Where's Rosie?
Actually, she is number 5.
Oh, she's sleeping.
Yes.
4 other grandchildren?
Yes.
Sweet. I have 5. Oh, there's our little girl. Hi, sweetheart. Oh my. She's like, what is this? She got little suspenders, jean suspenders on.
He's a sweetheart.
Oh my word. Well, I'll tell you what, that's worth fighting for, isn't it, Leah?
Oh yeah.
Be able to raise that girl the way you want and play whatever games you want to play with her. And I'm telling you what. And then for those of us in the 55 plus, it's us getting well enough that we can get down on the floor and play with them too. I mean, it's a lot of, that's our non-scale victory that we look for, is everything to do with, you know, when I started, I couldn't even reach my ankles. I couldn't grab my ankle, where you're supposed to do that one photo move out of 6 photos where you're supposed to lift your leg up. I couldn't even grab my ankle. That's where I started 2 years ago.
That's where I started too, so that's all right. I couldn't get my foot up about 6 inches or so off the floor. I couldn't hold it there for nothing.
Yeah.
And I just did my first roundhouse, like successfully for a few seconds, but successfully. So I'm pretty.
Yeah. Well, the first time I did mine that actually worked, because I kind of stopped trying that part, right? It just wasn't a thing. And one day I grab it to go up, and unfortunately I got it on video. And as it's up in a certain spot, I'm like, whoa, you're right there. And then it's like, can you go higher? And then I took it up higher. It's like, whoa, it was like an out of body experience. Like, that's my leg and it's up there, you know.
You can see your foot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So you hang in there, Leah. You keep doing what you're doing. And I know your dad's not going to give up, because he's so accountable with his. The best I can actually see as an example of always posting what you're up to is pretty powerful, Rick, because not too many are willing to do that, and your level of that. And Cheryl could keep posting more recipes and photos of food on the internet. I'm just saying. One of my
I'll try.
Yeah, one of my favorite posts that happen during the course of any day is when there's food. Oh, look at Rosie. Hi, sweet girl. Oh, look at her beautiful eyes. Oh, she's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
she stole the show.
Yeah, my word. And all that, is that curly hair she has?
Yes, it gets way worse than that. It looks like when I get it done after her bath and whatnot, it looks like she's got a perm.
Oh,
It's so funny.
yeah, this is pretty powerful, you guys. If you're seeing what I'm seeing on the screen, you're seeing the generation changes that are taking place in this family. And it's beautiful, you guys. You know, I'm always praying and pulling for you guys. And thank you for all you do for all of us, honestly. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you so much. Love you guys. Huge.
DDP, pass it on.
Amen.
DDPY.